Or panelists on the line. When you are ready to begin the presentation, press the Start Broadcast button on the GoToWebinar control panel to allow all attendees to hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
A very good morning to everyone. This is Nagarjuna from Hana Academy. We will start today's session. In today's session, first I would like to recap what we have seen in yesterday's session. Yesterday, we have seen two questions. That is, one is based on when you have a sales scenario, how do you do master data modeling and transaction data modeling? We use master data modeling using attribute views and link to the transaction table at the data foundation of the logical join or at the star join. Then we see one more example. If you have data related to multiple years, you want to show actuals, plan, and the difference between actual and plan. How can you do this? We can create a calculation views of type cube. Inside the cube calculation view, we can use data sources as analytic views. In each analytic view, we can request year, what is actual from one analytic view, from the other analytic view, what is plan gross revenue, and then we have done a union of both these analytic views. And finally, at the aggregation node, we created a calculated column. So the output is year, what is the actual gross, what is the plan gross, and what is the difference between actual and plan, actual gross revenue and plan gross revenue. So these two scenarios we see in yesterday's session. Let me show you some more scenarios on how these questions appear from data modeling. So all participants able to hear me? Hope all the participants able to hear me? Okay, thank you so much. Let me open up these questions. So once we will be able to understand what type of questions, then we can understand how these questions are asked, and we can prepare accordingly. From first itself we can prepare accordingly, and how these questions are asked, then we can align our preparation according to these questions. So that I just open this question paper. Okay, so here is one question. So let me only do data modeling questions. I'll just do the data modeling questions. So over the period of time, we will see the other questions. Okay, here is the question. Question number 11. Question number 11. Which information model can you use with measures from multiple fact tables? Which information model can you use with measures with multiple fact tables? So please tell the answer. Which information model can we use with measures with multiple fact tables? And analytic privilege, attribute views, analytic views and a calculation view. So first of all, what is a fact table? A fact table is a table that contains measures. Fact table is a table that contains measures or transaction data. Transaction data can be used in which views? We can view in analytic view, or we can use calculation views. What is the limitation of an analytic view? A limitation of an analytic view, we can request measures only from a single fact table. In a calculation views, we can request measures from multiple fact tables. So the difference is, in an analytic view, you can request from a single fact table. From a calculation views, you can request from multiple fact tables. So multiple fact tables means analytic calculation views. So the answer is D. So some are simple questions, but some are direct questions. So some questions you will get directly, like from the definition, but some questions are scenario based. Some questions are scenario based. Okay, so here we'll see one more question with regards to schema. Let me hide these answers. Which of the following can be grouped when multiple schemas exist in an SAP HANA database? Which of the following can you group when you have multiple schema? So in a schema, what you can group? So where are information models? Information models are on catalog or content? Information models are under schemas or under packages? Under packages. Where is a package? Package is again under content. Where is users? Where do you find user? User you will find when you expand security. So in the HANA Studio, please see, when I log into HANA Studio, click on remote desktop connection. Just let me show you quickly. I'll just show you. So we need to have clearly know all the options in the HANA Studio. So just we need to have little photographic memory to see all the options in the HANA Studio, where these options are. So inside the HANA Studio, once you expand the system, please see catalog, content, provisioning and security. Under security, what do you have? You have users. Under provisioning, you have remote sources. Under content, we have packages. Under catalog, we have schema. Now please see the question. Which of the following can be grouped when multiple schemas exist in SAP HANA database? Information models are under package, packages are under content, users are under security, and what do you have in schema? In schemas, what do you have? Tables. Nothing but data tables. So you can group, what you can group in multiple schemas? Data tables. Nothing but database tables. So this is related to This is related to transports. This question is related to transports. Okay. Let us see one more question. Which of the following describes an analytic view? What describes an analytic view? It is a set of tables joined together in a star schema. So this is a direct answer. So if you know the definition of an analytic view, you can answer this question. It's a set of tables joined together in a star schema. It is a copy of data after transformation. It is a reusable object in an attribute view. It is a materialized set of data. Okay. What is the definition of an analytic view? What definition of analytic view is? Analytic view is a star schema. Analytic views are based on star schemas. The center is the fact table surrounded by dimension tables. So answer is very simple. Which of the following describes analytic view? What describes analytic view? It is a set of tables joined together in a star schema. Please see. If I open any analytic view, if I double click on the analytic views, if I double click on any, please see here. This is star join. What is analytic view? First of all, it is star. Analytic view is nothing but star. It's a set of tables. Where are the set of tables? So this is one table, which is transaction data. Then you can open this customer. So here you find the other set of like KNA1, T005T, T005U, then time, company code. So all these are different set of tables. T001, TVKO, KOT, TCURT. So all these tables, what I am trying to do? I am trying to represent in a form of star schema. What is a star schema? The center holds the transaction data surrounded by master data. That's why it is a set of tables joined together. What is joined? It is joining the master data to transaction data. Where it is joining? Now where it is joined? It is joined at star join. Joining of master data to transaction is done at star join. Now this joining together to form a star schema. Let us see the next question. This question is related to transports. Just I'm focusing on questions related to data modeling, currency conversion. Okay, so here you have one more question. Which view do you use to combine two analytic views? Which views do you use to combine two analytic views? Calculation view. Let's go to the next question. Okay, here we have one more question. This is again related to information models. Which versions of your information models are visible on the History tab of the Modular perspective in the SAP HANA Studio? So the question is, when you create a data model, Every model has a version. Every data model has a version. Whenever we change this data model, it creates one more version. Suppose say first time you create and activate, it has version 1. Second time you change the object, it will have a different version. Now where can you see all these versions? When you right click on an object, click History tab. So if you see, click on History. Once you click on History, you can see these versions. Let me show you. For example, I right click on this Analytic view and click on History. So once you click on History, what does it say? Version 1. Who is activated? The best user. Now suppose say I'll go back to this Analytic view. Now let me select one column. Let us select 2 columns. So once you select these columns, click Validate and click Save and Activate. I select the column, validate and activate. Select the column, validate and activate. Once you right click on this object and click History, now you see there is another version called second version. So the question here is, which versions of your information models are visible? So what version is visible on your History tab of the modular perspective in HANA Studio? Only the last active version? TC, does it only show the last active version? Or all the active and inactive version? All active version, all the active versions, or the last active and inactive version? TC, does it show only the last active version? All active as well as inactive versions? All active versions or last active and inactive? So what do you think the answer may be? Please see, first there was a previous version. Then I made a change. Then you had a version called second. Now what is the meaning of inactive? What do you mean by inactive? Please see, inactive means, now suppose say I made a change once again. I made a change once again to the object. I selected 2 additional columns. So when I select 2 additional columns, it's a change. I'll only click on validate. Please see, once you click on validate, what does it say at the bottom? You see the quick text. On the quick text, it says save and validate change to this object. So whenever you click validate, it means you are saving the object. When you save an object, but the object is not activated. Please see, I saved the object but not activated. You can see something like this. You can see a symbol below to this. So whenever you see this symbol, it means that the object is not active. It is inactive stage. When you see an object in an inactive stage, when you right click again, click History, what can you see here? You can only see active. So what is the answer here? So what is the answer? Only last active version, all active and inactive versions, the last active and inactive version, or all active versions? Which one is the right answer? The right answer is all active versions, because even when you save, now the object is saved. Let us activate. Once you activate, the object is active. Once the object is active, right click on this, click History tab. Now what you can see, the third version. So you can only see all active versions. We cannot see last active, inactive version. Inactive version, you can see all the active versions. I also would like to explain one more thing over here. Just for the general knowledge. For example, I selected 2 more columns. I click validate. I did not activate, I just click validate. Right click on this. Here you see there is history. Click on history. You can see only, you see 1, 2, 3, you can see only active versions. Now, you see at the corner you can see one icon over here. At the corner you can see there is something called, let me show you. You can see there is an icon called this icon is called as switch version. What is switch version? When I click on this, you have 3 options. One is view active, view inactive, revert to active. View active, view inactive, and revert to active. Why we have inactive? Why do we have inactive? Because you made a change. You made a change, but we did not activate. That's why the view is inactive. Now the question here is, when the view is inactive, can you also see active version of the view? When the view is inactive, can we also see active version of the view? Yes, we can see. Please see. What is the change I made? PAOBGNR, PASUBNR. These 2 additional columns I selected. When I click view active, what does it say? Now you see there is a pink color ribbon on the top. The pink color indicates the view is in display mode. So whenever you make a change to an object, you save the object, the view is inactive. But again you can go back and see the active version. Even the view is inactive. How can you see? Click on active. But once you click on active, the view is display mode. How do you know it is display mode? Whenever you see the pink color ribbon, it's in display mode. Now let us click on data foundation. Now please see, do you see these objects selected? These are not selected because it is showing us the active version, the previous active version. Now, if I click on this again, and if I click on view inactive, I want to see inactive version of the view. Once I click inactive, click on data foundation. Now it will show I selected these objects, I saved this object, but I did not activate. We did not activate this object. So view is inactive. Now what I can do, I can either do two things. If I go to revert to active, if I go back, revert to active, I will lose the change. We will lose the changes that are done to the object. It means that there is no inactive object. Let us click on revert to active. This will discard all your current changes. Are you sure you want to revert to the latest active version? So it will go back to the latest active version. Click yes. So what will happen now? It will go back to the latest active. So at the data foundation, I will lose this change. Now when you click on this option, now can you see what is this you can see? You can only see active version. So what I'm trying to say, whenever you make a change to an object, either you can discard the existing changes, go back to the previous active version. Even the view is inactive, still you can see active. But you cannot make changes to the active version. So this is just to know how to go back to, how to discard changes, go back to the active version if you don't want. And even when you make any changes, you want to see the previous version, active version, then also you can see. So how do you know what is the current version you're working on? Please see at the bottom you can see. At the bottom you can see these versions. What is the version in which you are working on this object? So let us go to the next question. Okay, so here you have one more question here. For this question, we need to know some other options as well, but still we can answer this question. What is the advantage of reporting directly on a column table? So what is the advantage of reporting directly on a column table? It provides multi-language support. It eliminates the need for additional modeling. It shifts complex calculations and logic to SAP Hana. It supports analytic privileges. Actually, the question is very simple. The question is, what is the advantage of directly selecting a column table or directly reading a column table? Now, where are the column tables? Column tables are at catalog area. You find column tables at catalog. Where are we creating information views? In content. Now you're not creating any data models, just you are storing these tables in catalog. I'm not creating any information views. The question here is, what is the advantage of directly reading these column tables? Directly reading the column tables, first of all, column tables are fast. They store data in RAM. You don't have to do any modeling because directly you can access column tables. So in the front end, you can directly access the column tables even without data models. So the advantage over here is, without creating any data models, I can directly access column tables. It eliminates the need of additional modeling. This answer is wrong. Only data models can support multi-language support. Only data models can shift complex. So here it is given opposite answer. Only data models can shift complex calculation logics to SAP HANA. Only data models can support analytic privileges. So all the other answers are relevant to data models. The only answer that is relevant for tables, it eliminates the need for additional modeling. Okay, so here this question also from analytic view. In an analytic view, you need two different logical joins from a data foundation to an attribute view. The analytic view already contains an attribute view, but you have to use this attribute view again. To which of the following do you connect the second join? So what is the question here? The question is, you have an analytic view. You have an analytic view. Analytic view is what? Star schema. So what he's saying is, here you're using customer. He's telling he want to use the same customer again in another dimension. It means that here also you require customer. Here you have material. Here you have time. Please see the question again. In an analytic view, you need two different logical joins. From the data foundation to an attribute view. The analytic view already contains this attribute view, but you have to use the attribute view again. Analytic view already contains the attribute view called customer, but you have to use the same customer attribute view again. You have the customer attribute view, but you need to use it again. So now please tell me, how can we use the same attribute view again inside the same analytic view? I think most of you know all this answer. The straightforward question. I will give a small hint. Attribute views are of three subtypes. One is standard, the second one is derived, and third one is time. Attribute views are of three subtypes: standard, derived, and time. So which attribute view do we need to go to? So what is the derived attribute view? Derived attribute views are the views that you can use the same attribute view with a different name. Derived attribute views are the views which you can use the same attribute view with a different name. Then what is the answer here? Let us see the answers. So he's saying, which of the following do you connect to the second join? Choose two. He's saying you have to choose two answers. Let us see the answer. To a shared attribute view, to derive an attribute view, to a new instance of an attribute view, to copy the attribute view. to share an attribute view, to derive an attribute view, to a new instance of the attribute view, and to copy the attribute view. So what, please, you can use the same attribute view as a reference, or you can copy the same attribute view. Like you remember we discussed an example with ship to party and bill to party. I can create the same attribute view as a ship to party. I can create the customer attribute view as bill to party. But bill to party I created a copy. Ship to party I taken as a derived. So you can use both. Either you can copy an existing attribute view, or we can take an existing attribute view as reference. So there are two options for this. So this is not the right answer. There is no shared attribute view. You see there is a derived attribute view and there is no new instance of an attribute view, or to copy an attribute view. So the answer is, so there is no new instance, copy. Either you know copy or you know derived. You see when I go back, you can right click on attribute view, click new. Either you can do what, copy from another attribute view, or you can derive. Either you can derive or you can copy. Either you can copy an existing attribute view, or you can derive an attribute view. Derive or copy. Let us go to the next question. Okay, this is also a question. This is also we completed. You have a table of transaction data with different transaction types. So hope all the participants able to follow. Hope all the participants. The questions are very easy actually. So same way you can get these questions in the certification. Some questions are difficult questions, some questions are easy questions. All the difficult questions are based on scenario. Some questions you can get directly from the definition or from the practical. Now this is a scenario based question. This is one scenario based question. You have a table of you have a table of transaction data with different transaction types. Means you have one table and that table having different transaction type. For example, like billing transaction. In orders you have different order types like standard order. Like in a company code, you have different company codes, different departments, different sales organizations. So you have a table of transaction data. Here is talking about transaction data with different transaction types. You want to create an analytic view for only one transaction type. What is saying? You want to create analytic view only for one transaction type. How can you ensure that only rows with the required transaction type are displayed in an analytic view? So what is saying is, suppose say in an analytic view you have company code 1000, 2000, 3000. Now what it has to do is, in the output it has to only display company code related to 1000. In the output it has to display company code related to 1000. How can you do this? Let me show you how we can do this. Let us go back. Let me quickly show you this. Let's quickly show this. For example, let us find for Bucharest. So here Bucharest is company code. Now when I try to data preview, when I click data preview, when you drag and drop Bucharest, drag and drop VV010. So here it is showing you based on different company codes. But what is my requirement? My requirement is I only want to show one company code. I don't want to show all the company codes like this. I only want to filter on a single company code. So the Analytic view, when it is giving the output, it should show only one company code related data. What I can do, I can go back, I can right click on the company code, I can apply filter. These filters are known as design time filters. These are known as design time filter. What is a design time filter? Design time filters are filters where you can filter data before even data leaves the table. Means you can restrict data directly on a table. Click on apply filter. Click on show list of values. Please see C1 IDA is a transaction table. C1 IDA is a transaction table. So I'm trying to give a filter on company code 1000. Select the company code, click OK and click OK. Here you created a filter. Click validate. Click on save and activate. Click validate. Click on save and activate. Click on validate, save and activate. And click on data preview. Now please see, drag and drop Bucharest to labels access. Drag and drop VV010 to values access. Click on tables. Now what I can see only for one company code. So how did I achieve this? How did we achieve this? Directly on a table, directly on a transaction table, which is C1 IDA, I created a design time filter. How do you create? Right click on this. Right click on this, click apply filter. So let us read out the answers. You have a table, transaction data with different transaction types. Let us take different company code. You can create an Analytic view for only one company code. How can you ensure that only rows to that required transaction type or a company code type are displayed in the Analytic view? Please, what is the answer here? So the answer is create a filter on a table. Okay, let us go to the next question. I'm just trying to show you all the data modeling questions. Okay, here is another question. So please, a similar question. The question is very similar. Question number 38. What do you have to define in an attribute view to reduce initial amount of data selected from the data foundation tables? It's similar. Here we are done in analytic view. There we do it in attribute view. Same thing. So what we have to do here? A static value on any column in the data foundation tables, a column marked as hidden in the output structure, a restricted column in the output structure, a dynamic filter value on a measure in an attribute view. So which one do you think is the right answer? So can you have measures inside an attribute view? No. Can you have restricted columns inside an attribute view? No. A column marked as hidden in the output structure. That answer has no relevance at all. Then the answer, so please see D, we cannot have measures in an attribute view. So you cannot have a dynamic filter on a measure because attribute views only deal with master data. So no measures, no restricted columns, and the B answer is no hidden. Answer A, again it is a static filter. Either it is called a filter or a static filter. What is a dynamic filter? Dynamic filter means, for example, text join is a dynamic filter. Text join. So why text join is called dynamic filter? Because the filter value is changed dynamically based on user logon language. If the user is log in English, the output is in English. If a user is log in Chinese, the output is Chinese. So dynamic filter is something which dynamically change based on user input. But D answer dynamic filter, but it is saying on measures. Until dynamic filter is correct. But measures are something we cannot use inside an attribute view. Measures are nothing but amount and quantity related data. Where will you find measures? Either you can find in calculation view or analytic views. Let us see another question. Question number 39. In a left outer join, the left table contains one record and the right table has 3 records. What is the maximum number of records that you expect in the join result? The question is, so you have one table, another table. This is actually very basic and very simple answer. Table is T1, Table is T2. So what is the question here? The left table contains 1 record, the right table contains 3 records. What is the maximum number of records that you expect in the join result? So you have 1 record here, and you have 1, 2, and 3. Now you try to do a join on both the columns, and this join is left outer join. So he's saying what is the result? What could be the result? What is the left outer join? Left outer join gets all the values from the left side. It gets all the values from the left side. So how many values you have on the left side? Only one value. And it gets common values from the right side. What is the common between 1 and 1, 2, 3? 1 is common. Gets all the values from the left side and common values from the right side. So what should be the result? What is the result? Result is 1. Left outer join get all the values from the left side and common values from the right side. So the maximum number of records that you expect in join is 1. Answer is B. Left outer join is a join that gets all the values from the left side and common values from the right side. Now, if it is inner join, let's say the question is inner join. If it is a referential join, if it is a referential join, if it is a referential join, now is referential join valid to this question? Is the referential join valid to this question? So if you do a referential join on this, will it give the right result? Referential joins are joins you always need to have whatever the values that you have on the left table, the same values you need to have in the right table. Then only we can maintain the referential integrity. So if we don't have it, there is no referential integrity between the join condition. So we need to take referential join when you're 100% sure whatever the values that you have on the left table, you also have the same values on the right table. Always they need to match. But for an inner join, it is not required. But referential join is also inner join. But what is the difference between an inner join and a referential join? Referential join, you need to have exact match of rows. Inner join is a join condition, it only gets the match rows. Left outer join, all the values from the right side, all the values from the left side and common values from the right side. A right outer join, get all the values from the right side and common values from the left side. Text join gets descriptions based on user session. So basically in SAP HANA, you have text join, left outer join, right outer join, inner join, referential join. Inner join common, left, get values from left, common from right, right, all the values from right, common from left, referential. Same like inner join, 100% we need to make sure always left and right have the same values to maintain the referential integrity. And the last one is text join. Text join is a join that produces descriptions based on user session. So rest of the questions we'll see in tomorrow's session. By tomorrow, we will complete the questions with regards to data modeling. So I think we'll have 39, so 40. So you'll have another 15 questions. About 10 to 15 questions we will have with regards to data modeling. Tomorrow we'll see those questions. Or if it is some more questions are there, by Monday we can complete all the questions with regards to data modeling. Then we start data provisioning. We'll start data provisioning related topics. So in data provisioning, the first topic is SLT, SAP Landscape Transformation. So we'll continue these questions in tomorrow's session. So these questions are available in set 2. Set 2 materials. In set 2 you have certification dump. In certification dumps you have these questions. Please go through these questions. In set 2 certification dumps. Thank you everyone to attend today. I'll see you tomorrow same time. So next week Thursday again we'll come back to the same time. We'll come back a little early before time by next week Thursday. So I mean from Thursday. Or you want to continue in the same time? Which one is comfortable with the participant? Okay, I think most of them require 7:30 a.m. IST. Okay, we'll go back to 7:30 a.m. IST. No worries, we'll go back to 7:30. From next Thursday, we'll come back to the same time. Thank you so much. Now have a good morning and good night to everyone. Thank you.